it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
It's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. Can't keep doing that. Losing hair. And we are here for another week. Thanks for joining us and thanks for tuning in. We are streaming live and direct on Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Instagram. See, I went out of order. Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, as well as YouTube. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We are still on our drive to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't already, please go to YouTube and search for Empower TV, NPOWER TV. Click on the little bell. It will let you know anytime we go live or post new content. And also like, share, and subscribe. So let everybody else know. And even if you're not on YouTube, we do ask that whatever platform that you are on, give us a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithms, as well as please share the post, the stream. Let everybody know what it is that you're watching so that we can grow organically. Be part of the drive that we're on right now. Laura, you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. How's things going?
It's good. Happy Halloween.
Oh, Lord. It is Halloween. It is
Trick or treaters and goblins and ghouls and all that other good stuff.
Goblins and ghouls. So I just called those ex-wives. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Ghouls and goblins. I just called those. Damn, now I don't even see my little thing, Lori.
Okay.
I gotta. Oh, okay. Here we go. Ghouls and goblins. I just called those ex-wives. Yeah, there we go. I thought I had one with the drum roll. Maybe I do.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh wow.
Well, we'll give you that one. We'll give you this.
Damn!
Well, I did have a question for you.
What is that?
I was wondering if you were gonna put on a costume today.
A what?
Costume. And he's on mute. Well, it seems I'll be like sitting here talking to myself. But I guess on the question, and you're on mute.
I'm sorry. I had to reset. I'm playing around with my equalizer, and it has all these different functions on it, and I stumbled upon one that I never hit before, and it modulates your voice. So it kept in my ear. It kept telling me monster voice, male voice, female voice, valley girl voice. So I don't know, when you heard me and I was talking, it was coming out sounding different.
It did sound a little different, but then you kind of froze.
Well, I froze because I was like, okay, I'm live. What the hell have I done? So what I had to do was turn it off for a second. And when I do that, it mutes me, and then turn it back on. But when I turn it back on, it doesn't automatically unmute me. So
Well,
that's why I had to pause and wait. I wasn't frozen or anything. It was just that Brian didn't hit something on his equalizer that he never hit before. Because I brought up the claps and everything, but I was looking for the drum roll because I thought when I said ghouls and goblins, I call those ex-wives. There was one that was gonna go. You know,
Okay.
that's what I was looking
Drum
for.
roll. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So,
Got it.
I missed the door to that just like Trump missed the door to that garage garbage truck he tried to get into.
Uh-huh. So that's where I was asking my question. I thought, were you going to wear a costume today for the show?
Hell no. Number one, ain't nobody got time for that. Number two, costumes are hot as hell. Um, the older you get, the more comfortable you want to be. I can honestly say that. So me sitting here trying to do a show wearing a hot ass mask, man, I got on a call earlier uh, trying to look cool and everything and wear my little red roof bucket hat. And I lasted a good 7 minutes before I had to take that thing off, man. My head started sweating and everything. Everybody like, oh, Brian, you look good with the hat on. I like that. It look good on you. I'm like, thank you, thank you. And then within 7 minutes, I was like, you know what? Let me put that thing right on over to the side where it need to go. Because this is a reason too that I love ball caps, but it's hard for me to wear one because my head gets hot so fast that
Mm.
it's uncomfortable feeling that ring of that sweat that's just sitting up there. And when I take the cap off, it's just all hanging right there. And I'm like, oh my God, it's killing me. I'm dying. But I love ball caps, but I just sweat way too much. And it's just, they look good, but they just
They
not comfortable.
do.
Right. It's like wearing a pair of boots. I love wearing a pair of boots, man, but you walk around in them too long. Or better yet, it's like a pair of Jordans. I love wearing me some J's, man, but when they designed J's, they didn't think about people that had wide feet. Obviously, your feet had to be about that damn thin for you to wear a pair of Air Jordans comfortably all day long. Just can't do it. That's why I can't even understand how y'all women sit there be going to sporting events wearing 4-inch heels. Like, I don't get that. Because at a lot of sporting events, when you get inside the arenas, you have to walk around on those inclines to go up from one level to the next level and stuff like that. And it's like a ramp, but it goes all the way around. Man, you seeing women out there on them ramps with them heels. I'm like, how the hell are y'all doing that? Number one, how? And number two, why? I know you want to look good. I know you want all the attention on you and everything else like that. But the great Missy Elliott used to say, "Is it worth it? Is it?"
For s for some people it is because they're also trying to, in addition to looking well, they may be trying to attract someone,
Look,
a player or something.
look.
Could
Ain't
be a
no,
celebrity in the audience. I
ain't
mean,
no,
it's funny.
ain't no player coming to see you in the nosebleeds. If your ass got seats in the nosebleeds, ain't no player coming to see your ass. If that's your reason, you need to stop because you're wasting your time. You got better odds of being struck by lightning 10 times. Now I'm not trying to knock your hustle. I'm just saying, man, make it light on yourself. Be comfortable. You ain't got to sit there and do all that. That's just crazy, Lori. Why would you sit there and sit there and wear pumps to a damn? And then you go to a lot of these NBA arenas now where they build the seats and they almost build them damn near straight up in the air, where it almost feel like if you tilt just a little bit this way, you're gonna fall backwards. Actually, you probably would. I'm just saying. And then when you're trying to carry concessions and things like that, if you're not comfortable on your feet, man, then that could end up being a disaster. So there's nothing wrong with looking cute, but you can also look cute in flats. Flats do not make you not look cute. I'm just saying. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was frozen. I don't know why. Must be
It
you.
no, it's no, I didn't make you frozen, and nor did I start singing either. But, it just could be our, internet connection or
Yeah,
the white van is circling the neighborhood.
that's a very good possibility, Lori. Always. But look, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. we're gonna get started with the show. Franchise may or may not be here. I know he probably had some dad duties to attend to, and not sure. Yep, there go Lori. Lori left me for a second. You came back. Yeah, you left me for a second. It was just a spinning circle. I see you now. See, ain't just me. Oh,
Uh,
see, you know what? I sit there and talk about the franchise, and lo and behold, there he is. Before we bring the franchise in, Lori, just make an announcement to anybody that's interested in advertising on our wonderful show. Please reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com. Or we're about to do a commercial. And we will partner with you and try to promote your good service or your business. And this is a great example. It comes from the great realtors at Jermaine Parker Realty. Play this clip. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. Yeah, there he is. What's going on, franchise?
Oh, what's happening, man? I was listening. I was dealing with a sick baby.
Yeah. Yes, I hear. Hope all is well. I hope all is well. Hey, but listen, we also have a Wednesday show called Head to Head Sports with myself and Randall Hargrove, where we break down goings ons in the NFL. We just recapped week 8. Looking forward to the start of week 9. See, Lori keep dipping. It's Lori, it ain't me. Now Jermaine just did it. I'm sorry, I got an unstable internet connection. It maybe it is me because y'all keep you're not freezing, you're just going in and out. So it's just weird. So it may just be me. Anyway, Lori keeps sending me a little side man. Lori just went out again. I am frozen. Oh, so I'm frozen to you, and you're frozen to me.
I see Lori just fine.
That's weird.
I hear you though.
Yeah, I think it's the internet. We'll see. Hopefully it prevails and holds up. So anyway, but anyway, what I wanted to say was we have our NFL show during the NFL season all the way through the Super Bowl, where we recap the weeks. And week 9 starts tonight with the Texans and the dead Jets, the dead men walking Jets going up. Got my parlays in, Jermaine. Hoping for a really, really, really good night of NFL football. Can't wait. I've been doing pretty good lately on them little parlays. I just need some better odds so I can make a little bit more cash on them. But tonight might really be that night. So can't wait to see what happens with that. And speaking of which, y'all, we have a lot of fun on the show. We get a lot of audience participation. Had some interesting comments, particularly from the franchise yesterday. The Cleveland one was epic, and Rand, yes, did have a good time with that one. So
so I love the show. It's better than this show, and I'm on this show. Your football show is a great show, and I like to watch. But what I like to do is I like to put comments in, and so Brian will be going on what he's talking about, and my whole purpose is to put a comment in that I can look. Rand will look, see the comment, and start laughing before it's read. Then I say, "Oh yes."
That one, and I had to warn Rand. I'm like, look, I know the way he wrote that. It looks like he really put a lot of thought into it, but he didn't. That just came off the top of his head. Yeah. I said that's just how he writes. Yeah. So it's hilarious. Oh my goodness. All right. Yes, thank you, Lord, for posting that. All right, man. It's only 5 days left now to election day, in case people out there just woke up out of a coma. in case you were born today and you automatically accelerated to be 18 years old, um, well, even then you would have already had to register to vote. So sorry, but there is an election going on, and it's more than just the presidential election. Early voting has been going on for several weeks now. I believe that wraps up on Saturday. I believe, Lori.
That is correct.
All right. I was able to get out the other day and vote. I made sure to go to the Board of Elections, which is literally zero point 0.4 miles away from me, if that. So no, I didn't walk because
So you jog over.
no, but I did drive over there because I had somewhere to go after that. So, but it was easy just to kind of pull right up, nice little spot out front. Everybody always parks in the back over there, Lori. So I don't know. I always park on Church Street side, and everybody parks on the back side. If you park on the back side, you got to walk through all of the folks that are out there campaigning for their candidates and stuff. When you walk through my side, you miss all of that.
Well, it depends on the day. And again, when it started with early voting, when it started on October 17th, your spots in the front at the Board of Elections that's up the street from us literally were overtaken by cars, and they were campaigning a little bit further
Hmm.
from, and then so everything was gone. Like it was just
Every,
rough.
every time I come up on that side, there's never a car over there. And now this was 20 minutes before they opened, but even when I left, there were still no cars there.
Yeah.
Um, but I got there, and the only thing that was there was just a whole bunch of signs and stuff. A lot of them lying and stuff. But that's what they do. But yeah, I walked in. I mean, not walked in. I got in line because there was a line. I got in line about. I didn't want to stand out there. It was a little chilly. I didn't want to stand out there too early, longer than I had to, because normally I'm used to early voting in Concord. It's pretty in and out. It wasn't in and out. It didn't take long. It was still about 20 minutes. But normally I've gone to the Board of Elections plenty of times in Concord, and it was in and out. Now, I will say normally that's probably more so midterms and off year elections and stuff like that, where there's not a presidential at the top of the ticket and stuff. So maybe that was the difference there. But definitely saw a lot more people out ready and willing to vote. So that was a good thing. And the thing that I thought about was is that everybody was so cordial to each other in line, joking with each other and stuff like that. And all I'm thinking to myself is, this is interesting. There is not a 100% chance that everybody in line is voting for the same people. Yet, when you don't know who people vote for, the way you talk to people face to face, I ain't talking about trolling people over the internet on social media pages and stuff like that, because then that's when people feel like they kind of got a wall of protection. But when people are next to each other in line, I mean, I'm just standing in line. Lady walk up behind me, older white lady. She walked up to me and she just started talking. I hadn't acknowledged the woman or nothing. She started talking. Boy, it's a little chilly out here, isn't it? And we just got to talking. And I know for a fact that we ain't voting for the same person. But
Probably not.
probably not. No, no.
No.
But it didn't matter. It was, hey, we're both here to exercise a right that is bestowed upon all of us to be able to do. And even though whether I'm pulling the lever or circling in for my candidate, it does show that people can be decent to each other when they don't have to sit there and lean so heavily into their politics. We were there for a political reason. Let's be clear. We were there to vote. So it had everything to do with politics. Yet while we were in line, we could just be regular people and didn't have to have some kind of ideological hats on. And that was kind of refreshing to be able to see that, to be able to do that, nobody's out there calling anybody Nazis or woke or this or that and the other. And so all those kind of things flying around. So it was kind of good to be able just to have that base level. Now it doesn't mean at the end of the day uh, I'm going to agree with you on political things, but it just means though that people can be civil with each other still. And that was good to see.
I So here's the thing, a couple things. One, I think that most people have the same desires anyway. If they don't have the same political ideology, we all want our families to be safe.
Yep.
We all want an opportunity to provide. I think average people are into the I need to have an abundant wealth. I just don't want to struggle. I think we all, at the end of the day, have a lot of the same desires. We just have different ways that we think those desires can be met and achieved.
That's
The
correct.
other thing is that a lot of these Nazis are cowards, and they wouldn't dare say the stuff that they say behind keyboards, and when they're with their own elements and stuff that empowers them to say crazy stuff. I just don't think they would.
No, oh
And
no.
my experience, because a lot of people can talk junk away from me, but I'm 6'4", 220 in real life. Like this ain't no game. And so you can play on the keyboard or you can put comments in the comment section and stuff just to ask people, but you're not gonna talk that to my face. No, you're not. None of your
Yep.
friends can. The ones that did didn't wake up.
I don't want to wake up.
It's so I mean it's nice to see. I think what you're getting to is that it can be done. I think sometimes I question the sincerity of it. It's
Yeah.
somebody 20 years or 40 years in uniform, the same people that would go out there and say thank you for your service when I was in uniform would lock their cars and clutch their purses when I was out of uniform.
Yes.
So the duality of people,
Hmm.
I hope the best know what's lying under the surface.
Yeah. No, and you know what though? Whether somebody is, sitting behind you in line like the lady did, and maybe she felt the need to say something to me like that to make sure that she was safe behind a black guy. Um, it could be all of that, but it still does show a certain level of acknowledgement that I need to be a certain way, and I can be that certain way if needed. That it doesn't all I don't always have to be that person, even if once I get back home, there's a bunch of swastikas in my house, and everything is about white power and whatever, and all those things that you have the ability to be that way and lean more into that. Now, I know again, I ain't looking for no Pollyannish thing, but it was just an interesting thing for me to be able to kind of see a bunch of people looks like from all walks of life. I heard this couple really having a conversation the other day while I was out, and it was a boyfriend and girlfriend, and the guy was trying to his girlfriend was just taken back by the fact that she has friends, people that she really respects, that she considers ignorant because of the way they vote. And he was like, yeah, but they're still your friends. You still love them, right? And she was like, yeah, but I just can't see how they think about things that way. And he offered her a little bit of insight and said, well, it's because she was trying to make it too simple. And he said, I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. And I kind of agreed with him because I was like, yeah, because somehow I got in the conversation. And I said, listen, I think the way the things that have affected people in their lives affect the way that they see things. If you've never been black or brown, if you've never been minimalized, if you've never been marginalized, if you've never been stereotyped, if you've never been pulled over for being just the color you are, that can influence the way that you see certain things in life. But what I suggested is that what I find with people a lot of times, Jermaine, is I think if people could empathize more with the plight of other people, you don't have to go through those things for you to have a certain level of understanding. Now, because if you're white, pretty much chances are you're gonna die that way. I don't need you to have to experience slavery to understand that that was pretty effed up. I don't need you to go through Jim Crow to understand that that was pretty effed up. I don't need you to get your head bashed in at Selma or uh, on the Edmund Scott Bridge for you to realize that that was pretty effed up. But what I do need you to be able to do is look at life from the viewpoints of different people and understand that when you say things like "Make America Great Again" or other things like that, that was only for people that it was supposed to be for, but that left a whole lot of other people on the outside looking in. That it wasn't really great for everybody. So when you say that, it's almost like you're saying to people, "Hey, I want to go back to a time when a certain people were in a good place and other people weren't."
They understand that.
So
They do. When they go off and they say all these things, and the reason I know they understand is because when pressed about it, they have the most ridiculous reasons for why they continue to say it, because they understand what they're saying, um, and they understand it's not a conversation. But you have to understand too that a lot of the angst, the for white people and stuff is that they've been used for so long to be able to say and do whatever they want to. It comes the civil rights movement and everything after that, the 80s and 90s, it kind of bottled people up, and political correctness was the term, right? And they had to be politically correct and stuff. And like I say, it only really takes one. And Trump was the one that resonated with these people, and he was unapologetically racist. And they said, well, he just speaks his mind. But what is he saying that you connect to when you say speaks his mind? He consistently has derogatory things to say about people of color and women. He's misogynistic, he's racist, and he's all these things, and they love it because that's who they really want to be.
yeah, it was weird. I was listening to interview today of a guy that was a Trump supporter, and when they asked him why he was voting for Trump, he came up with, well, he's a good businessman.
Right.
Which, we can debunk that, but I guess because being a business person doesn't make you automatically a good business person. There's a lot of business people out there that aren't good business people. There's a certain way of measuring whether somebody normally is a good business person or not. And 6 bankruptcies probably isn't going to be on any of those lists. That wouldn't be my winning bingo card, I would say, if I was trying to win signs of a successful businessman. 6 bankruptcies probably isn't going to be that. But neither here nor there. But then he went on to say, yeah, I felt like for small business and medium-sized businesses, he'd be really, really good, and things like that. And then the person said, well, are there some things that concern you about Trump? And he said, well, if you're talking about, some of the, you know, things he says and, character wise and stuff like that, he said, look, sometimes you have to be able to separate the guy from their policies. And I'm sitting there going, no, you can't separate the guy from their policies because the guy basically shows you the type of decision making or lack thereof that will go into those policies. If I'm dealing with somebody that's a nice person, but they hooked on drugs, I'm not gonna let them sleep in my house while I go to work. because they may be a good person, but I can't separate them from the policies that they're gonna sell everything in my damn house.
I,
You
I,
can't separate people.
I
People
think,
fun. You gotta take the person as a whole. Now, it don't mean that when you shake up everything, they got to come out perfect. But you can't have a whole bunch of, well, they're morally irreprehensible, but I trust them with my life. You can't do that. Now, look, if you want to say, well, I just feel like that they're a better person than the other person, okay, I can see that a little bit more, even though that's crazy. But to simply say, well, I'm going to split the baby with the bathwater and that, like, well, it ain't the same person. The person in their policies is different than the person when they grabbing coochies.
well, so but this is, and I've said it before. This is why slavery endured for 400 years in this country,
Hmm.
um, because of that attitude. It's the same attitude. Because
Yeah.
a lot of white people will bring up, well, most white people didn't own slaves. I go, yeah, that's the problem. Is that there were more people who didn't than did, but they supported it anyway because they thought it benefited them, and they were
Yes.
willing to look past the moral, what some people would say, dilemma or quandary. It really wasn't for them. It just because it didn't matter, and it's showing up again today. I really, really, when I was growing up, thought to myself, is the friends that I made and the places I went and stuff. I said, you know, and a lot of people say, well, if I was there, I wouldn't have done such and such. And as I get older now, I understand. Oh, yes, you would have. You would have
Yeah.
continued on,
Yeah.
because I can. If you support Trump, and so I know there's this whole gaffe about Joe Biden when he was making. I think he was really trying to make a comment about the comedian who I think is a funny comedian, by the way, but he's a roast comedian, and he did what he was supposed to do. He roasts stuff, and he roasted Puerto Rico, and there was a lot of backlash from that comment. I don't condone the comment. I didn't think that was funny. But Joe Biden, his retort to that was like, I don't, Rico I know is not trash. The people who support Donald Trump was trash. And I think maybe he was trying to focus it towards that one guy and every Trump supporter in their way of being offended by something, and which is crazy to me because
Oh, everybody started clutching their pearls and acting like it was
yeah,
the Hillary Clinton
any,
deplorables
any
comment.
anytime now Trump calls people names all the time, and when people say that's not right, they're snowflakes. If somebody calls Trump supporters a name, all of a sudden the hypocrisy just pours off of them, right?
Hmm.
And they want to get offended about trash. But I bring all that up to say that I don't know if Joe Biden meant to say it, but I mean to say it. If you support Donald Trump, you're trash. And that's it's not the opinion of the network. This is my opinion. I think you're trash for the same reason I think that your ancestors were trash, all of them, and not just the white people, the black people too that support them. Your ancestors were trash too. We know who y'all were. Y'all were the ones that were pointing out the people that were trying to escape and giving master the heads up and stuff. Y'all the same ones. Y'all the same
Or
breed.
was riding on the horses to go round them up too.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Y'all
know
the
where they
same.
like to go running high. Come on, boss, I'll show you.
Yeah, y'all the same breed. Y'all trash. All you trash because it's because you want to stand on some kind of moral high ground about your politics and stuff because you don't have policy,
Yeah.
you have ideologies. And
You know
so
what?
this ideology comes from this whole we're better than you.
Lori, Lori, is it me or do you see Jermaine going in and out too?
Now I see he's frozen.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
There he goes. There he goes. It's
Okay.
That's not
no,
moving.
you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Oh yeah.
moving.
Yeah. You moving now?
But the gist of the rant is that it's the same way that their forefathers were able to separate
Hmm.
the atrocities from the people committing them.
So
They still went to church with these people.
yeah.
Jim's still a good dude. It doesn't matter that he killed two men last week because the crop or whatever was messed up and stuff. He's still a family man and stuff. They look past all that stuff and stop examining who these people were. They do the same thing with Trump. And that's why I say if slavery was going on right now, it would take another civil war. And I'm not calling for a civil war.
Right.
I'm ready though, but I'm not calling for a civil war. Because and that's another thing too. Like Tuesday, I mean Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'll
I was
get
gonna be
dinner too. Yeah, yeah. Don't get caught flat-footed. I'm gonna call all the next week, especially after Tuesday. Don't get caught flat-footed because because so Jermaine, let's go to the rally that happened in Madison Square Garden on Sunday. That was being compared to the 1939 Nazi rally that happened in Madison Square Garden because it was a lot of hate being tossed around, a lot of borrowed Hitler quotes being tossed around. One in particular from Stephen Miller that basically said, "America is for Americans and Americans only," where Hitler had made a quote of Germany is for Germans and Germans only, basically saying Jews get the hell out or, get exterminated. And there are a lot of similarities. When the comedian came up and started throwing out a bunch of jokes, the first thing I thought was, how crazy can you be? You know this is being televised. And I knew as soon as he said those jokes that the campaign was going to try to distance himself from it. I knew Trump was going to try to act like, I'm sorry, who was he? Oh, was he there? He seems to know all of the best people. He seems to, nobody knows anything more than I know. But when it's something that starts to make him look bad, he don't know nothing, ain't seen nothing, ain't heard of nothing. I assume it was, I heard it was, and all that kind of stuff. Even though I thought what he said about Puerto Rico was in bad taste. My problem with that was with the Puerto Ricans, because after that, Bad Bunny sent text out, J-Lo sent text out, Mark Anthony sent text out. You had Nicky Jam, all these high-profile Puerto Rican celebrities all up in damn arms about what the comedian at the Trump rally said. Again, I think it was absolutely terrible what he said. But what I'm wanting to understand is, where in the hell have y'all been? This mother effer came down the escalator. Now, I understand he was talking about Mexicans primarily. Hold on, CJ.
Hey, brother.
And,
I got an answer for you, even though I
know,
know I'm jumping in.
my Puerto Ricans, where in the hell have you been?
Already, I can tell you where they've been.
Coming in behind Jermaine. Who is that? Who is that? Oh, okay.
That might be Mom.
Hey, Josh. Oh, look at she brought us a phone.
Hey.
What?
Hello, y'all. How you doing?
Oh, hello.
Hearing.
You know you live. Look at it. She said, I know I'm live. Franchise.
Well, my brother, I do have
Franchise. I think she just wanted any other ladies out there to know that if they come over there, it's gonna be a problem. That's what that was. You know that.
Oh, the only name on the mortgage here is mine.
I know that's right.
And
I heard that. However,
I'm 6'4", 220. if you think I can only handle one.
I didn't see too many first 24s to understand that might not matter.
Ladies, I got a strong back. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
He said, "Come on over. I'm John Coffee. Come on over."
Like the drink, still like the coffee, like the drink.
But anyway, so my question to my Puerto Rican friends is, why if now and I'm not speaking to all my Puerto Ricans, because even though J-Lo, Mark Anthony, Bad Bunny, Jimmy, and all of them said what they said, and they were just probably just trying to make sure that if any of their Puerto Rican brothers and sisters out there were on the fence, were maybe not thinking about voting, not sure of who to vote for, that, hey, this is going to be one more reminder. I get that part. But for any of my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters out there that were on the fence and this is what made you get off of it, my question is, where in the hell have you been? Because during Hurricane Maria, I remember this man sparring with the mayor of San Juan. I remember this man coming down there and throwing effing paper towels at your ass, almost like it was a game. I remember this man holding back funding to help you, denigrating your country, blaming you for your power grid issues, and the fact that you were around a whole bunch of water. I remember him doing it just specifically to Puerto Ricans. I remember him trying to see if he could sell Puerto Rico.
He tried to sell y'all.
He tried to sell you and buy green.
Y'all American citizens. He tried to sell y'all.
Right. So
I mean, that's what a slave master do, though, right?
If it took, and again, I know that there's plenty of Puerto Ricans that before that comment were already like F Trump, da 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 da. Fine, great. But if that was the comment that brought enough outrage for you to say, you know what? Because there was one, because he was talking about he had just voted for Trump and he instantly regretted it. And now he's trying to tell all his friends to go vote for Harris. And I'm sitting there thinking, but why did you vote for Trump? What was it that Trump has done over the last 9.5 years that made you so confident that you knew that dude that you was going in there for, when all the things that I said that he had done about Puerto Rico happened before Sunday? Where in the hell have you been? Now we can blame, look, I can blame a racist for being racist all day long. But what I can't understand is you knew that before you went and voted for him. Mm-hmm. Where in the hell have you been? Somebody, please tell me.
Okay, so like I said, our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters were on the same fence as our black and brown. Well, yeah, because they opposite of brown. Our brothers and sisters of our own culture. A lot of people just sit back on their heels, Brian, and they like to watch the show. They fall for the proverbial banana in the tailpipe stuff about the economy, all the good sound bites and stuff they come up with. And this really goes back to old culture of they don't feel like a female is educated enough, smart enough, qualified enough to run the country. That's what it's really based on. And they dance all around it, but that's what they are really saying is what they're really doing. I'm gonna have to plug myself. I just did a reaction for the same, well, basically centered around the same thing, but for our culture, the black culture, because they were spitting out the same tropes, the same rhetoric and everything. It was just like, because number one, they only have access, or they only allow themselves to have access to like all your Fox channels, your MSNBCs and stuff like that. So that's all they say all day. And or like have we spoken about before, they don't bother to educate themselves. They don't bother to Google. They don't bother to try to actually fact check stuff. And so they just go back what they hear. And what they hear is all these rhetoric. And then you know what? I'm not going to vote for nobody because I don't like neither party. Not realizing that a non-vote is a vote.
Yep.
So I got a different take, and my take is, and I start with asking question: are Italians white people?
Yes.
Are Irish people white people?
Mm-hmm. I know where you're going.
Yeah, they wasn't always that way, right? When they first immigrated over and they were immigrants and stuff, they were Irish were by their genetics criminals. I mean, I'm sorry, that was the Italians. The Italians were subject to criminality because of their genetics and stuff. Irish were lazy and all the tropes and stuff. And what they did is that they wanted to do anything to. Nobody wanted to be black, right? And this is the only reason I have a difference of opinion about when we talk about why our black brothers and sisters are doing it, because they can never be white. But Puerto Ricans come in fairer skins and stuff, and they don't want to be lumped in the brown and black people.
Right. That's why they
So,
didn't have a problem with Mexican jokes because they look at Some of them look at Mexicans the same way.
way.
I gotta
And
say, yeah, you
and so they're
and that's
trying
all the way
to embrace.
around the world.
It's nothing new that people try to embrace their oppressors, so they won't be the oppressed anymore. They can be a part of the class. There's a couple ways to transcend racism, and one of them is to assimilate. And
Yes.
so the people that are on that are voting, that were on the fence, are in the assimilation mode. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I think that they're trying to do the same things. Like say, that was the whole reason that when you look at and again, I just used two, but because they were the biggest ones that were targeted and stuff. But you and I now just don't, they're white people, right? And
Well,
that's how.
I mean, yeah, they even had internment camps for Japanese Americans when they were over here.
Right. Okay, it's okay. Like even with that, right? And I know my brother Jermaine can relate to this because white is more than just a color; it's a status. And the lighter your skin is, the more they feel like that they can relate. And that's why I'm not even a betting man, but I can almost put money on a lot of people that have that mindset had that. Well, he's not talking to me, or they are not talking about me.
Well, I mean, it's winning team stuff to me, man. It really it is. It's the same reason when, like we talked about, the 20% of black men that are showing support for Trump, which is behind what Joe Biden had, and definitely behind what Barack Obama had in terms of support in the black community. I think when you look at those numbers and stuff, that's a lot. However, the demographic that I pointed out that votes against its own self-interest consistently are white women. And the reason they do that is because they are married to white men. And even if they vote against themselves, they still want the protection of white men, and they have to empower their men who are out there, because they understand that they're not going to get the same amount of pay. They understand that they're not going to have the same opportunities and stuff. They understand they just started voting with suffrage and stuff. They understand all that. But my man, I have to empower my man because that's where my protection is. What was it? I mean, women were not allowed to open a bank account by themselves until
they had to have the consent of the husband.
That was, I think, in 1974 is when
like
women. Yes, women were allowed to have a bank account and a mortgage.
Not even a whole. I was born in 74.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It's like 50 years ago. So, and you've aged wonderfully. Let me tell you that. But the thing is, the Puerto Rico.
You get there too.
Yeah, the 25th, turned 49. Turn up if I'm still alive. And not because there's something wrong with me, but this election's coming up, and I be talking shit.
So you might end up missing.
Yeah, hey, look, if Trump get in, there might be some vans just like picking people up on the street.
I want you to understand that we are considered Empower TV Network is considered the enemy within. I meant to tell you that in some production meetings and everything else like that, that if y'all come on this show, there may be a target on you if Trump wins.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just you're part of the enemy within.
Me and Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel will be like, I've been meaning to meet you guys for a long time. I didn't. You guys are hilarious.
Oh my gosh. No, Jermaine, I agree with you, and CJ, a point taken too on that. It's just it just kind of threw me because I'm like, it goes back to the whole Maya Angelou. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And when I mean Puerto Ricans, when he was denigrating African countries as shithole countries, when he was talking about heavy African American cities as being crime ridden and
drug infested
and mice and rat infested and all of that kind of stuff. he was doing that, he was already sending to you the whole thing. When he disputed the election and he started talking about, hey, you got to watch Detroit, you got to watch Chicago, you got to watch Philadelphia, you got to watch Houston. What did they all have in common? A whole bunch of dark people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, like I said,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry, CJ. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. No, you just you just reinforcing what I've already said. So yeah, it's the darker the skin, the more you got looked down on. I mean, and that's not just an American thing. It is a worldwide thing. It's across nationalities. It's across cultures. All you got to do is just get a passport and just go check out.
Yeah, and it was crazy too because he did have other jokes outside of the floating garbage, which was Puerto Rico. Talking about Latinos love to make babies. Talking about they don't
pull out.
They don't pull out. All they do is come inside like they did with our country. Yes, Lori, that is what he said, almost verbatim.
Oh, Lori, you didn't say it? I mean, Lori, you didn't hear him?
Yeah.
I've been hearing it all week.
They love to have babies.
Okay. So,
he says they don't believe in pulling out. He says they come inside just like they did to our country. That's how he said.
That was verbatim.
No, yeah. That's how he said. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And then
that was word for word.
He's talking about, who is my black friend out there in the audience? What does he have on his head? A chandelier? And nobody was barely joking and laughing and stuff. And he says, "Oh, I'm just playing. That was my friend. We were at a Halloween party." Now listen, we were at a Halloween party carving watermelon. Why would you be at a Halloween party carving watermelon and not pumpkins? But because you were with your black friend, y'all were carving watermelon. Everybody in there got the joke and knew what he was saying.
It's a known fact that you get comfortable around your people, and you
get way too comfortable. And he was playing to his audience. And when you're a performer, now listen. Here's the crazy thing of all of this. Well, and number one is this: when you're a performer, you should know who your audience is and make sure that you're tailoring your presentation to your audience. But the fact that he had to prepare a racist conversation to an audience means that he believed in some part or whole that most of the people that would receive that were going to be racist.
I didn't hear not one boo. I did not see not one pushback or any of those things. You can go on Ground News. It's a website that you can go to. It's called ground.news. They split our feeds down the middle, blue versus red, and show you what's in the middle.
Yeah.
Not one pushback came from the red. Not one. Not a headline, not a commentator. Nobody on the red side had any pushback.
They're apologists. They're going to make a reason for it. One of the things, though, CJ, to that same point was, if it's not known, it could have actually been worse, because apparently they vet the people that come to present because they load what they're going to say into the prompter. So they knew damn well. Now they're trying to say now the Puerto Rican one was off the cuff and not in the teleprompter. But the black joke was
okay. So I thank you. I'm just saying, what about everything else?
And they said, well, it could have been worse because he wanted to call Kamala Harris the C word, and we thought better of that and made sure that was removed, and asked him if he could remove that out of the thing. So you wanted to call a grown woman the C word in front of 60,000 people,
and you actually said that.
Yeah. He had it in his thing. He was going to say it, but they made him not say it. But that means they reviewed everything else and thought everything else was kosher.
Well, so here's the thing. Let's take away the fact that they reviewed it. Mm-hmm. What about and to CJ's point, not a rebuke from even Trump and stuff, from the audience
Right.
In real time,
Thank
they
you.
heard that
Thank you.
and didn't boo.
Right.
You,
But
Not a
but
whoa, wait a minute. Okay, that's too
but
far.
that's what makes then Biden saying no, they're trash crazy because wait a minute, it's like ho, you just heard this dude throw all these insults out about black folks, Puerto Ricans. They even brought up Jews, all kinds of crazy stuff. Hitler comments. None of that outraged you, but a guy that y'all say ain't even there hardly says you're garbage, and now all of a sudden you want to clutch your pearls. And JD Vance's answer to the comedian was, look, I think at some point we got to stop getting overly sensitive to things being said and da 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 da. And as soon as Joe Biden said what he said, JD Vance, first one talking about, oh my God, well, the horror, that's irreprehensible. I'm saying, bro, didn't you just say to kind of let it go? It kind of reminded me of that scene from Iron Man where the Hammer sat there and told the guy that was building the robots and he couldn't have his bird. He says, sometimes you just gotta let it go. And then when he said the same thing back to him, it didn't feel the same, but he
Right.
used the same words against him and stuff.
Oh yeah. Cause see, it's different. And see, that's what we're talking about. He's just following whatever his dictator in chief says. Like whatever he say, whatever he feels. Okay, I'll just echo whatever he's doing. They all do that. They're just parroting one another, and
Yeah, but
it's actually kind of sad. Like when you just sit back and think about it, it's just like, and this is what is supposed to be the competition for a well qualified, competent, educated, strong, just so happen to be black woman that happened to be the candidate for the presidency. And this is her competition.
Right. And that's why everybody keep going back saying, and why is this even so close? And there's so many reasons to that. I got more answers as to why it's so
I
close.
don't believe the polls, brother. Honestly, I don't.
So, okay.
I do not believe the polls.
So you got to remember, it's close because we do not have nationalized elections.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Do I believe that the popular vote is going to be close?
Nowhere near it.
But it's never been that close. Only once in my lifetime has a Republican won the popular vote in the presidency. Any other time that they win, they don't win the popular vote. So it's definitely not. If elections were nationalized, Trump might as well be going ahead and sizing up his jumpsuit. That I can say clearly that if that was the case, if our elections were nationalized, he might as well just go ahead, talk to Putin and say, hey, if I come on over there, you're not going to send me back. Go ahead and start working out some extradition agreements because you have no shot then. The only chance he has is the fact that the Electoral College gives him a better than fair chance. And then it comes down to voter turnout, not the polls. It's going to always come down to turnout. How galvanized can you get your base of people? And in addition to your base of people, how many people that were on the fence or just kind of very erratic voters can you pull to kind of tip the scale over? For the most part, this country sits at about 48-48. Pretty down the damn middle. The thing that tips it over to 50-49, 51-49, 51-50 is that extra little bit of something. And that's what it really comes down to. So it's not that your vote doesn't matter because no, we need that vote because we call that the reliable, dependable vote. But we're really spending millions and damn near almost $1 billion fighting over are a handful of states. That's why you hear, yes, Biden won electoral college and it looked like it was a landslide. But when you quantitate that a lot, you look at 37,000 votes in Pennsylvania. You look at 12,780 votes in Georgia. That's the exact number. You look at a couple of thousand votes in Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, 7,000. Was it 7,000? Something like that votes. Wasn't that many. Those states like that, which tips it one way or the other. So
Mhm.
all you understand in the month of September and October is do no harm. Do not mess up your candidacy. Trump is
Right.
saying that even if he messes it up, though, y'all, him and Mike Johnson have a little secret. And did you hear that he told him?
No.
You got a little secret for
Okay.
the Trump has said for a long time. I don't know if you've heard him in some of his speeches. Will say to people, "I don't need any more votes. We have plenty of votes," and it sounds ridiculous. And that's honestly because Trump has a game plan for if he loses, if and when he loses.
Oh yeah. Oh man, God. Yeah. Who don't know that?
He has a plan. But
Who does not know that?
he thinks his secret is this, though. He's got a couple of different secrets. One, I don't know if you've already seen this, but he's already starting to sow doubt that in Pennsylvania they're cheating. He's already started the same old shit.
Oh yeah.
They're cheating.
And
No,
and what Supreme Court went and changed their law 6 days out from voting, so they can filter the votes or something like that.
no, I don't know.
I only caught like a portion of it.
I think you're trying to talk about Virginia, where
It was a
there was a
Commonwealth.
ruling.
Yeah,
There was
it
a
was a Commonwealth.
ruling that that they were able to take people off of the voter rolls.
Right. If that's right. Thank you, sis. Yeah, for like not checking the box or not signing their name on the card or whatever the case
That's
may be.
crazy because vote with voter registration, voter rolls and stuff like that. If there is an error made, you have a certain amount of time where you're supposed to be able to come in and remedy your
90
ballot.
days. 90.
Anything, yes, you're supposed to be able to remedy your ballot. Now, the great state of North Carolina, I was just reading before I got on here, it's like General Assembly is trying to take over the state board of elections to the point where every living North Carolina governor, Hunt, Purdue, Rory, I'm missing somebody. They all got together and filed an amicus brief saying, no, this is not a good idea. We are not in favor of the General Assembly. General Assembly is trying to sue to be able to have the right to take over the state board of elections. It's and it's because they can see North Carolina once was a red state, has become a purple state, and is starting to trend towards a blue state. Trying to get ahead of that and say, oh no, y'all don't. So we got to watch that even here in North Carolina, where a lot of these outside people are trying to come in and take over. Georgia tried to do that too, where they're trying to take over the state board of elections so that they can have some sway over. Oh, well, we know that's what the vote said, but we're going to start disenfranchising and throwing out ballots and stuff like that. It's already happening, but Trump's plan, or at least one of the plans, is that if Republicans maintain the House, MAGA Mike just ain't gonna call in the session January 6th.
Mhm.
Because listen, if he don't call them in to certify and they don't certify, they can say, well, we're just gonna throw it back to the states, to delegations to vote for president. He thinks it can work like that. It can, but that's his secret. He thinks that. Now, that to me is a crazy scenario because we all know that the only reason that the Republicans really won the House last time was New York effed that up.
Mhm.
The way it's going this year, it looks like New York has gotten their stuff back together, and there's plenty of votes to be gained in New York, Mississippi. There was an extra seat that was carved out in Alabama that is going to be majority black. there's a couple of other districts that have been around the country too. So if you just go by those numbers there alone, the House should flip back. Now the Senate is more of a toss-up because you've got John Tester in Montana, who has consistently won in Montana, even though he is in a red state. You have Sherrod Brown in Ohio, who has consistently won in Ohio, even though it's a red state. You've got Senate races out in Nevada, where Mark Kelly is up. You've got Gallego out there running against Kerry Lake. And of course we're going to lose West Virginia because Joe Manchin isn't running because the writing was on the wall that it was definitely going to be Republican this time. So you probably got 2 or 3 normally blue seats in the Senate that are really, really up for grabs. And there are other places that they're trying to get. They're trying to flip Florida. Rick Scott is running against a Democrat down there in Florida. You got Marco Rubio that seems to be safe. You got Ted Cruz running against Colin Allred in Texas, and that's getting tighter and tighter. But I still don't have enough faith. I mean, it's not that Colin Allred isn't running a good campaign. It's just that I just don't know if Texas is ready to flip blue yet. That would be a lot. As much as people hate Ted Cruz, I still don't see him flipping. I see it getting closer. That O'Rourke got it kind of close, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. What do you think, Jay?
I think with as many black people that's trying to move to Houston, give Texas a little while longer. Everybody's going down there for cheap housing and good jobs and stuff like that. Every time I turn around, there's another young lady talking about that she packing up and moving to Houston.
I think they just like to say H-Town.
With Dallas Fort Worth. So give some time. Here's the thing, and this is just me. Last time I checked, the Supreme Court basically said the president was a king and he can do whatever he wants to. So even if he does try this stuff, there is a lame duck king that can be like, oh yeah, we're not going to do that. That's not what happened and stuff. Now, what the problem is that Democrats generally don't have the cojones to do such things because they believe that once you open the door, it can be closed. Even if the door's already coming in and you fill the draft, Democrats are like, well, we don't want to crack it any further open.
Right.
On the other side, the barbarians are if you don't think that if you think that somehow showing civility to these people is going to get it returned to you, they're crazy. And
they are crazy.
That's why, like again, to go just back for a second, so about these people being trash because they are trash. He should lean into the trash comment and say you are trash. What? They're not going to vote for him again. And I know we're gonna put that on
Right. You understand? Do people understand though that for the last week before that whole comment Sunday, Donald Trump been going around talking about America is the trash can of the world.
Yeah, he said that.
He been leaning on. He said it off the cuff one day, and it sounded so good to him. They just started adding. He says, "And I say, America," and it's almost like he's wowing himself as he's saying it, because in his head it sounds really good.
Oh yeah.
America is a trash can country. So what you're saying is that everybody that pours into America is a bunch of trash, but now your people get mad because he called the immigrants trash, and that was okay. But when Joe Biden called y'all ass trash, now it's a problem.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I hate beating a dead horse on this show about something, but they are trash, and that's the thing. Like you say, and we talked about it before. Trump polls around 45, 46%. But
Yeah.
when we talk about on the fence, there are a lot of people out there still vote for Jill Stein with no hope. Just throwing their votes away. Really. And I get it. I get why the two major parties, and I've said it before. There's a couple things. National stop relying on electoral college. That's a way to stop that, to make your vote, because your vote, because I think that there's enough my personal opinion, without being a lawyer, is that there's enough infringement from the electoral college making my vote less than what it should be, that there's a lawsuit there. If a real Supreme Court was around to take that up and make the electoral college illegal, because if you think about what my votes, what I'm entitled to by the Constitution isn't there to protect interests of corporations and states, stuff like that. It's for individuals and stuff. And I think there's enough habeas corpus there, if I'm using that correctly, to have a lawsuit to bring it up into the courts and stuff to when we basically have to reach a Supreme Court decision that the electoral college infringes on my individual rights.
And I would have standing. And anybody brings it up would have standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it affects me directly.
It affects me directly. I'm standing as a citizen. I think that you're taking away my vote.
Right. That's true, because you're now my vote goes into an electoral instead of it being one person, one vote. Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting, Jermaine. We may have to explore that. Lori, I'm gonna need to start reading some legal brief. Get back to you.
But besides that, like I said, he's already started I think he said it was like 2,600 votes have been called, blah, 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 and this stuff. And like I said, he's the equivalent of somebody walking to the gym and before they even start stretching, start talking about, these rims are regulation. I don't think that ball's fully inflated. And who are these refs? I think that's that dude that I used to fight with. He ain't gonna be fair.
Yeah, watch me foul out of the game. As soon as I get close to somebody, he's gonna blow the whistle. Watch. Yeah. I mean, but you know what? That is it's so transparent, and it's crazy because it's like, you have no new. It's like you just play all your old hits. You have nothing new. You keep doing the same thing, and either acting like people have amnesia, or they're just gonna keep falling for your tricks over and over again. And unfortunately, there's about 45% out there that if he tells them, hey, we're starting to see irregularities and things like that, they're going to believe him. Now, the one thing that they have leaned into more this year, Jermaine, because he was so stupid the last time to tell people not to go out early vote, they actually believed him. Now they're promoting, no, go out and early vote. We got to do what the Democrats are doing, even if we don't like it, even if we think there should only be same day voting. They're doing it. We need to do it too to counter it. So they're out there early voting. So now early voting numbers are up, and they're seeing a lot more participation from Republicans. And I'm sitting there and they're thinking, oh, is that going to have an effect on election day? Yes, there won't be as many Republicans voting on election day because they've early voted. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have more Republican votes. It just means that they've redistributed when they voted.
That's all that means. Yeah.
I heard that 50 million people have already early voted. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard the number.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
Well, you have to remember, it was like 80 million voted for Joe Biden Harris ticket last time. It was what, 70?
It was 78 to 87, I believe, or 81 to 87.
Okay, so I mean, you got almost a third of the people that voted last time have already
voted.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Already.
So, yes, and if they would make the laws to be that those votes could already be counted election day, because you can't go in and change them. If they already counted, you can start getting early results. But they need that in a lot of these places for that not to be, so that same day ballots can be counted first. So it looks like Trump has his lead, and then the lead starts diminishing, and it looks like he won, and then it got taken from him.
Well, again, like I say, it's also to make sure that people show up, because again, if you
right,
come to like a Charlotte, so Charlotte is heavily Democratic. They're never going to win. In fact, most major cities that have any kind of diversity,
thank you,
are Democratic and stuff. And there are some Republican cities out there and stuff. They're all trash people. But if you showed on the news the day before on Monday, it's down by like 60 points, nobody's going to go vote.
That's true.
And that's the real reason in my mind that they won't allow those votes to be counted beforehand, because it's not going to inspire people because they're trash. They're cowards.
So why don't they do like they did in Head of State, where they made the announcement 30 minutes before closing? It looks like we're about to have our first black president, and all the white people from the South are running.
You know what, bro? That was good. You know what? We can end the show right there, because that was perfect.
There was so much satire in that movie that was kind of not really not real. Maybe a little bit exaggerated.
But hold on, but see now, was it satire more than foreshadowing?
That's what I'm saying. There was a little bit of that rolled in there.
You know what I'm saying?
or just the fear of,
right.
Oh God,
exactly.
Really? They dropped everything and just not, I know all of the
crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah,
I do remember that part.
Yeah. That every single time, like, see, that's all it takes is to say, "Hey, we about to have another one in there." No,
we can't have that.
and I believe that Obama would soften up or harden up the country for Trump. Is that the idea? That the country had been defiled by this black dude who was so elegant, had a family. Thought he was so much, and that was the other thing too. Obama was too uppity for them because like he think he better than us. He was.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Any of y'all would think he wasn't. He was.
He was. It is.
Yeah. His kids wasn't on drugs. His wife ain't have posed on no news spread. Didn't start no grammatically incorrect campaigns called Be Best.
Look, man. Everybody, that was another
thing. They spoke so well.
There's so many people out there like, Michelle Obama's a man and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is so rude, especially when I can draw you a picture of your boy's wife's naked ass.
Literally.
I ain't got to draw it because I can just Google it and pull it up. And y'all talk about she's so classy. Really? That was art. She a hoe.
304, baby.
She is
304.
She came over here. She can't even stand him. Why y'all like him? She don't even want to be with him.
You know why? Jermaine, I know why. Because he stank.
Probably.
He literally stank.
I mean,
he gotta wear a diaper.
Makeup on why she don't want to kiss him with that, but I mean, it's obvious. And the thing is like you got Mr. Eyeliner talking about Coach Walls and his wife talking about he shook her hand or whatever Walls did after the debate stuff, and I'm thinking, your boy's wife won't even kiss him or don't want to hold his hand. Has been shown slapping his hand away and stuff. She don't want to be around him, and you trying to get in somebody else's relationship, and how his wife is never going to forgive him after they lose. He helped talk all this stuff about immigrants and stuff. I understand what Malani don't care about the immigrant comment because she's like, yeah, it's true. I came over here to get some money. I got it. But I don't know.
But JD Vance compared to an Indian woman.
That's what I'm talking about. What's the eyeliner? That's what I'm talking about. About that.
Right. Oh yeah.
And I don't know how his marriage is going to be. I don't know how you stay together after you allow.
But some of these, so that's an interesting thing. I don't know if some of these wives are just accept the fact, like you said earlier, that their husband is the protector and everything. But there was a commercial that came out just the other day where the Harris Walls campaign was basically targeting women in saying that, once you go into the booth, you can vote for whoever you want to. And what you do in that booth stays in the booth. So it showed the lady and her husband, and he was a Trump supporter, and he goes in, he votes for Trump, and she goes in and she votes for Harris. And when she comes out, he looks at her and says, "Did you do the right thing, darling?" And she said, I sure did. And the right wing people have lost their mother effing mind.
Oh yeah.
Charlie Kirk talking about, oh, that's just absolutely crazy. Jesse, whatever his name, Waters on Fox News is talking about, man, if I found out my wife did that, that would be like having an affair, misleading me and stuff like that. And it was this whole tone deafness with guys that just because I'm married to a woman, she ain't got to think exactly like me. She has autonomy, but you won't give her bodily autonomy. And now when it comes to damn voting, she got to vote like you, or you calling it a damn affair.
So if you get back into women's suffrage and stuff, one of the things that actually, because no one ever does anything because it's the right thing, it's always kind of some personal motivation. It was because white women were a large segment and they would vote with their husbands because they had told them to. So they allowed them to vote because it doubled their voting power. That was it. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't because we believe in women. It wasn't because we trust women. It was none of those things. It was strictly because it allowed people to get an extra vote.
It was expedient for us to be able to add them. Once the darkies started being able to vote and started being more reliably voting, we needed to add some more, which is another reason that they don't want birth control, because they want to keep popping out more voter and workers and stuff. So, so very, very interesting stuff. So that was interesting because the whole right wing went crazy when they saw that commercial that we have the audacity to tell women that they have a choice in the booth. They don't have to do what their husband did or told them to do.
That was smart.
I don't remember telling Lori who to vote for. Lori, did you vote for who I told you to?
I placed a vote. Yes.
You're gonna have to write me out who all you voted for me to determine whether you will still have a place to live.
You keep saying this, and I keep telling you, I live here, and I got papers with my name on it.
But it's dependent on who you voted for.
Nope, it is not.
Because I would like to say it better have been for Hot Tour 2024. Spit on that thing.
I would like to say, I know we're getting close to the end of the show and stuff, and so and I've said a lot of things about this this populace of white women who are not, looking out for their own self-interest and stuff, and talking about their husbands, telling them what to do, and that with Democrats are actually saying that you have a choice. So I won't. If there's any white women out there, you come to the booth of my house, and we can take care of your self-interest. And
that's right. Come on, over here.
Right. He ain't gonna even know. You can tell the same thing. Yes, honey, I did the right thing.
Get home and raise your kids. Oh my gosh!
I did not hit that. Are you trying to send my brother a message, Lori?
I bet the crib raising the kids. I got a sick baby. My baby boy turned 1 on Tuesday. Tuesday's 29th. Yeah, he was sick, and he's still sick. He got sent home from daycare today. It was crazy.
That's what happened.
They send the money home with him. They just send him.
Well, you know now that you have all these kids, you should have more votes than the rest.
Hey, to them white women.
I'm sorry. Hey, are you accepting childless cat ladies too?
I was just gonna say, y'all don't have to be childless no more.
Oh boy.
I ain't gonna be childless no more.
Oh boy.
Keep listening to them.
Got them. We fucking got them.
I am not hitting any of these. Oh, Lori.
Good job, Lori. Good job.
Good job, Lori. Well, look, we're going to wrap it up there. Look, if you haven't gotten out to vote, early voting ends on Saturday. Voting day is on Tuesday. If you have voted, still talk to other people and see if they voted. And if they haven't, I know Lyft and Uber and some of these other services are offering discounts to be able to get people polls and stuff like that. So please,
polls on Tuesday.
I ain't discounting nobody. If I come to get you, you better drop a 20 at least.
But look, the discount going through the app, you still gonna get paid. They getting discounted, but there's no excuse. But make sure if you're in the state of North Carolina, you do bring your ID. Make sure that if you go vote on Tuesday, that you have to actually go to your actual voting precinct.
Yeah.
You cannot go to any early voting spots that you're going to pre-election day. You have to then go to your voting precinct. So please make that happen. Make a plan and try to encourage other people to vote. There's still time. We need to make the numbers too big to rig, too real to steal, and go from there. And make sure that your voice is heard. See the power of our vote come down on Tuesday. It's a good chance that when we do the show next week, we still may not know who won because of the way that they've set things up, unless it is clear in a lot of states early. If it comes down to a few here and there and recounts are ordered and things like that, it's a good chance that when we have this show on Thursday, even though the election is Tuesday, we still may not know who won the election. So, how about that? So next show we still may be talking about who you think got it. So it could happen. Anyway, let me thank my co-hosts out here, Lori Parker, CJ Jones, the franchise, Mr. Jermaine Parker. America is a racist. We will see y'all again next week. Y'all take it easy. Be safe out there. Peace.
Peace.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.